So today we're talking about the combination of numbers 14, 5 that you would find in your soul contract chart. We'll talk about the 14 first. This is Scorpio energy. So this can be really super intense, right? You're passionate, mysterious, but on the other hand, you can be a little too intense, right? And stubborn and a little negative. But the really interesting thing about this number is that you you use relationships to learn or to see the different parts of yourself. Like you're not going to be able to do that on your own. You have to do it in relationships with people. But because of that Scorpio energy, it's they can be really intense. So it's kind of this um, roller coaster of emotions and intensity, but you're always on it. So, because the only way that you learn about yourself is when you're in relationships, and you're just always going to do that. So, if you ever see those people, like I'm definitely not one of these people, but um, yeah, I just think to myself, like, God, they just go from one relationship to the other. Well, they may have a 14, 5 in their soul contract chart because that is how they learn about themselves. And it's also about the 14 is your sense of smell. So that can be really you may just have a really heightened um, sense of smell too. And then the 5 is that energy about speech that we've already talked about. So that's Aries energy. You're a pioneer. Um, you use your speech to assert yourself, but there's also like a negative to that number in that you might be a little too much of a risk taker. You don't consider other people's feelings before you do something, and you might be a little, you jump into a situation without much thought. But this number is very sensitive, spiritual, and intuitive. So if you find your 14, 5, this combination in a karmic area, then that's where you're going to go through these relationships, but you completely lose yourself in them. And it's like you don't even exist unless you have someone to mirror yourself back to you, if that makes sense. And also, if anything changes in the relationship, then you're automatically going to think you're being abandoned. And you're also really ungrounded, and it would be hard for you to do things like meditate. And you're not sure if the feedback you get is from just your mind or like some sort of spiritual connection. So you don't trust your intuition. If you have a 14, 5 in a talent area, then you're also able to reflect back to other people their hidden parts of themselves. You also inspire people to be more spiritual. So, because of that 5, it's a really expansive energy. You understand how creative your soul is, and you can show other people how spiritual they are. And then this also, both of these numbers could have like a psychic ability to them too. And if you have a 14, 5 in a goal area, then you need to learn to connect that intuitive side and to share it with others. And you also may want to like write some sort of spiritual material from your own experiences. And then that allows you to have things mirrored back to you too. And it helps you open up spiritually. So, writing, if you have it in a goal area, some sort of writing about your experiences might be something that you do. And if you have a 14, 5 in a soul destiny, you're just going to spend your entire life learning about who you are through relationships, and they're going to be very intense. So, some support again, like I just said that for the soul destiny, you're going to need some support for that, right? Because these intense relationships over and over again can be a lot. So, some support for the 14 fives would be that you need to take a break from relationships from time to time. If you don't know what this number is, then yeah, you may just go along and you're going from relationship to relationship, not knowing that you really have to consciously make a decision not to be in a relationship for a little while. So, another just I just find this so fascinating. All the stuff that we don't know about, these numbers is just, if you knew them, you could make such different decisions, right? So, and it also means like all relationships. You just need to go off by yourself. Maybe you take a trip. It doesn't even have to be that long, like just a weekend away, and you're getting away from literally everybody. And that's the thing that can kind of like reset your system, and so that you can go back into the next like intense um relationship, that because you will, with this number, the 14, there's no getting around it. And you can also read, I'll put the section up for the 5-5 energy too, so you can go read about the support that you need to do for the 5-5 energy also.